such thematic in our area of hospital delivery. Floor to yours, Professor Maya.
Thank you, Faisal. I am Professor Leila Bouzani. I am vice of this center. Professor Leila Mondi was the director of this center, and he's retiring now, and I'm blessing her. It's a very big pleasure to have this activity in the center. As you know, this center is a center of research of the linguistic area, and we commonly organize some activities addressed toward the private sector or NGO or the community. And is the center and with the staff. Faisal is a professor here, and Mr. President also is here, and we have some other students, and very big staff working on different projects. And in this plan, every year they organize some activity like this round table. And I think that the objective of this round table is to see how we could interact with the community and NGOs and private sector, and how we can be involved with them in the same research project. And the objective also, as we want Faisal to do in this round table, is to discuss and to have feedback from our partner, from each partner, and to have a dialogue between academics and private and NGOs that could be involved in a project, because in general the big research project could involve universities, but also stakeholders, and it's very obligatory to have that. And I think that it's the objective now is to see how this collaboration could be done. We have with us different experts from Tunisia, from Italy, that could give us their experience, and I think that we have also with us private sector and NGOs that could explain to us how we can collaborate, and what are the barriers, and what are the expected from them, the expected thing from them. Thank you very much. I give the floor to Professor.
Thank you so much, Professor. Yeah, absolutely. What this is the objective is to evaluate technically how we make things benefits for HRs, for academicians, for stakeholders, for private sector. Absolutely, there is a lot of barrier even behind any success. That's how during this discussion we hope to highlight some of and pointing out what exactly the needs of stakeholders from academicians, because our vision sometimes as academicians is limited, but what they need, what they ask for also should be taken into consideration, and we should be focused on maybe in the next future projects, not only for developing the project, but giving real concrete results to be implemented as a full project that really the program manager look for. Yeah. So during this round table, I tried to organize it in three parts. The first one is about private sector, as well as some represented. We have like from Malta, the FFX company, which makes Maha is the manager. She's gonna represent some of his success in such topic. Thank you, Maha, for being with us. Also, we have Miss Nadia Babrahim, which is the manager of International Academy of Agriculture Marrakesh in Morocco. Thank you, Miss Nadia, to be with us. And also we have Isman Johnson from Resilience Community from the United States of America. He was one of our partners in several projects managed is Minara, which Amin from Tunisia was also a partner. Then the second part is to focus on NGOs. We have like Jamal Asaka as representative of a center, but have the NGOs. We have like another project with Switzerland. We have Ms. Fuad Wirzan, representative of the association in Amal. We just got several projects, especially one with the Embassy Canada, and we do a technical part here in Mary. We have Professor Amin El-Ush, he's an academician, but today we wanna present ASCOBIS Institute services. Amin Joy was in Tunisia, and it was in the Minara project as a partner too. Then the third round, it's focused only for academician, in which Professor Massimo will give us some thing or story of experience with enjoys in project and stakeholder, and same for Professor Maria, and also Professor Basim from Tunisia too, as academician. They're gonna give us some question and discuss around this topic. So, to accelerate, Maha, the floor is yours to tell us about the objective that we look for in this round table. And thank you. Maha, please, the floor is yours.
It is Taha, so I was like, how are you guys? Okay, for now I work in digital review transformation, or they call it the twin transition. Mainly we are focused on helping different industries to shift to digitalize, including agriculture, including biomedical industries, or even bioagriculture areas. And the main reason behind using digital twins and the twin transition, which are two different things, I will explain them later, that it plays a great role in shifting all the decision making from the real world, the real material, to the environment of the virtual reality. So mainly what we are doing is, I use these technologies as a designer, because I came from architecture design background, and we started testing kinetic architecture in 2004, which was in the University of Jordan, by the way. All were the Arab world has lots of talents, and of course professors that supported the research. It was not really only wasn't good in that. So what happened is that you can shift these technologies in different industries. And the main thing that you must understand, that digital twins is the idea of replication and assets. So let's say that you are working on a plant. A plant can be simulated in digital reality. You can simulate the growth, you can change the growth conditions, and then say it will affect it in 1 to 3. You can change the soil properties, and you can say if mineral X was missing, the result is 1 to 3, and you don't have to wait until the growth will grow, because you can, as a researcher, you can support that with facts and figures, and you can simulate these growth opportunities. And then, let's say that the research was for 2 years or 2 years, then you can also have a recording of what happens in reality. So you can have the hypothesis part already simulated on an early stage. Then you have the other parts already under research. You can record it, and then you compare both simulations. You'll be surprised that it's very possible to bring a very accurate result, as long as you have enough information. And that's where digital twins work the best, because when you decide which replication level you want to create in the life cycle of a material or a product, even if it was a natural process, this will enable better research directions. Because if a researcher can know or can predict the results by replicating environments or creating virtual environments, and then you will know based on the state of art what area is the gap, how I can really make the best out of the time that I have for this research to close the gap, instead of waiting and seeing a symptom that was not like what was not predicted. When it comes to twin transition, it is the transition that combines using digital tools and not necessarily only simulation environment or design or any environment that can collect data like IoT systems or Internet of Behavior, which is IoT systems, or IoT, which is Industrial Internet of Things. You can simply use Excel. Sorry for the expression, but I always promote for Excel because it's a very powerful tool to model data in certain levels. The idea of going with the meaning is to use the right tool to get the results. It's not about using the most expensive tool or the most sophisticated tool. And this is how you are digital and green together, because at the very end, when you are digital and green, first you save resources because of relying on virtual reality. And second thing, you are even in choosing the digital environment. You target the most effective digital environment. It's not necessarily the latest technology. Sometimes the latest technologies help, but other times the latest technology is not what you need. For example, one of the projects that are very recent that I'm doing kids story to teach kids between 7 and 9 how to write a problem for AI. So they can read the story, but also they can try and test how to write in certain tools a prompt that can generate a new image for the same story. Because when I tried testing, that experience by itself was super joyful. And I am aware that if a kid starts to learn possibilities, which is something that's very important for us in research, then they can utilize AI in a smarter way than a receiver or someone who just distinct different information or different tools. So this is how we are doing it. And of course, there is a very big orientation for NGOs, likewise like private sector and government, to go in the ESG reporting area, which is environmental, social governance, and all the three aspects works together. For example, the Chamber of Commerce in Malta, they usually send us the whatever governance rules or new regulations that about to go out or enter the proposal. So we look at it and we send our feedback. And often it is internationally agreed on, because when you work on programs that's supported by the United Nations, which is of course one of the best organizations that we can learn from, you will find out that the SDGs framework already has all the KPIs that you might need. But the idea is how to train students, researchers, and even CEOs and managers how to take these KPIs and convert it to something that they can utilize in their operations. And this was part of my master's of research. And even like we did this research before the SDGs, it was like a credit for us. And this is what I really wish for, because if you use digital and the green technologies, for me it was just like I was lucky enough to have a professor at the university who invited me to join him. So I started in technologies in 2002, and then in Jordan we are very up to the green activities, so it was combined. But if you encourage students to go in both directions, they will unlock new industries before others. So for example, the kinetic architecture was very famous, now it's more famous, but we worked in it in 2004. Currently, the SDGs reporting is very famous, but the KPIs was set for such reporting or such management system in 2014. So we are talking about 10 years ahead and 20 years ahead. And this is not in a different country than Morocco. Like Jordan is also an Arab country. And okay, the next one was in Switzerland, but also the United Nations resources is also for everyone. So I do see very high potential in research. I'm very happy to collaborate. You will get my information from Faisal. And feel free to reach out. My number is everywhere. It's the company number. You can always text. Thank you for inviting me. I am very delighted to join you today. And if you have any question, please just feel free to ask or to write it by email, whatever medium fits you.
Thank you, Maris, for your speech and your intervention, clarifying your role and your expected objective in such collaboration. Taking again to this nice networking with us. We tried first to apply for a project, but now we have like some lines, new lines for future. So if you could stay with us, because we have like we keep air session after the second and third talk. Now I will ask I guess Ms. Nadia Ibrahim to present, is one of our private sector, to present or to talk about such topics in partnership with academicians and even with NGOs, since they have a big experience working with NGOs and new experience with academicians. So thank you, Mace, and now the floor is yours. Yeah. With this, you can speak. She can speak in French.
بارطاجي معايا وبارطاجي باش تبقى الفيديو.
Alors, bonjour tout le monde. Je me présente Nadia Ibrahim, présidente de la Fédération interprofessionnelle des viticulteurs au Maroc, et en même temps, je suis la présidente fondatrice de l'Académie internationale de viticulture du Maroc. Alors, malheureusement, j'ai préparé donc, ma présentation comme d'habitude, donc ici au Maroc en français. Prof Issam va nous aider pour faire la traduction en anglais. Alors, on commence.
Yeah, she gonna speak in French, and we'll translate part by part in English. Okay? I'm sorry for this. Thank you.
Now, if I am the only one who doesn't speak French here, that's the question.
No, there is.
Really?
I'm Italian partner also didn't speak French.
Italian can't speak French.
Okay, good. That I'm not alone. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Miss Nadia Ibrahim is
President of
International Academy of Pisciculture of Marrakesh in Morocco, and Interprofessional Federation of Pisciculture in Morocco.
L'pisciculture, c'est l'élevage d'escargots. C'est le secteur de l'élevage de l'escargot. Donc voilà. Farming.
Is farming snail. Pisciculture is farming snail. You know it, Massimo?
No, it's the same.
It's new. Okay.
Alors donc je vais commencer par une petite présentation sur le secteur au niveau du Maroc. Donc le Maroc a été depuis toujours donc, le premier exportateur du produit de la nature. donc le produit de l'escargot, de collecter dans la nature vers l'Europe, surtout l'Espagne.
Under the market. Under the market.
So,
Alors, alors donc, je vais commencer par présenter donc, le secteur au niveau du Maroc. Alors, le Maroc a été depuis le jour donc, le premier exportateur de l'escargot dans la nature vers l'Europe, surtout l'Espagne.
she wanna start by presenting the sector in Morocco, as Morocco is one of the first exporter of snails in
De la nature.
natural or wildlife snails in Africa. Yeah, in the worldwide.
Alors donc l'activité donc de l'élevage d'escargots donc a été commencée au Maroc depuis 2013 donc à travers un partenariat avec la France. Donc on a commencé par la France. J'ai ramené des experts français ici au Maroc.
So this culture activity was started since 2014 in Morocco throughout a partnership with French experts. She brings some experts to implement it in Morocco.
Voilà, donc la première expérience a été en 2013 à Rabat. Et par la suite, donc, on a lancé notre partenariat avec le ministère de l'Agriculture pour structurer la filière et créer donc, le secteur hélicicole, l'élevage d'escargots au niveau du Maroc.
So after implementing with the French partner in Rabat, they bring it and cooperate with industrial ministry to implement such chain of culture in Morocco.
Voilà. Alors, par la suite, donc, la création de la fédération pour structurer la filière et aussi donc, mettre sur place donc, les lois, les textes pour, pour encourager donc, les investissements et aussi donc, pour structurer la filière.
Yeah, that's interesting because during the creation of such chain, they really focus also in the legislation parts that think that is important for such application.
Alors, donc, par la suite, donc, en 2019, on a créé l'Académie internationale d'horticulture à travers un partenariat avec les Italiens, donc ici à Marrakech.
So in Marrakesh, in 2019, via partnership with Italian experts, they create this Academy of Horticulture here in Marrakech.
Voilà, donc le rôle de l'Académie, c'est la formation, la création des projets et aussi donc l'accompagnement et la collecte des escargots, donc voilà, pour la commercialisation et aussi pour la valorisation.
So the role of such academy is to for training and creation or job creating job opportunities, then making such technology more prevalent and real integrated in the whole country.
Donc voilà c'est le site de l'Académie. Donc voilà, c'est un parc des pages pour faire des formations. Formation théorique et pratique pour les ingénieurs.
This slide shared is an example of a training for farmers and also from women from the rural area to transfer the technology and knowledge. Here in Morocco, it's surrounding Marrakech. It's about this academy is like national, international, and that is based in 40 kilometers from Marrakech.
Donc voilà, donc on a fait, on a recruté beaucoup d'éleveurs, beaucoup d'investisseurs au niveau national.
So we recruit several investors and on the national level and project managers.
Voilà donc l'unité de la sélection des escargots. Voilà pour.
Yeah, here is the selection unit of the snail before storing in a chamber.
Voilà, c'est notre partenariat avec le kayak.
The kayak we visited yesterday is a platform. It is in Tabriz University as one of partner of such academy. It's one example of private-public partnerships.
Exactement pour la valorisation du escargot. Donc, on a préparé des échantillons pour l'escargot voilà, transformé. Donc, voilà.
So in this term, they prepare some snails, conform the snail to valorize the product and the product for further utilization.
Voilà, donc voilà les produits à base d'escargot. Donc, voilà.
Yeah, here is some byproduct from viewers or from snails.
Il y a aussi donc l'extraction de la base d'escargot pour les produits cosmétiques.
Yeah, this is one important topic is slime extraction is a biobased polymer rich in collagen. There is several production, and they expect to use for cosmetic and pharmaceutical products. Okay.
Exactement, donc voilà les produits. Donc ce qu'on a préparé, donc présenté au niveau des centres de boucher. Voilà.
So here is a slide that presents some product, real product. They already commerce in some platform.
Okay.
Voilà notre participation dernièrement au salon cosmétique à Miami. United States.
This is the stand in which they participate in international salon in Miami, in the United States this year, 2024, as one of way of marketing of the product and the technology.
Voilà, c'est notre participation aussi Canada. Voilà,
Yeah.
salon de produits de l'agroalimentaire.
Yeah, another international event, they present their product in Canada last year.
Ici, donc voilà notre partenariat avec l'Université Akadaya, voilà, pour donc, les recherches et développement, donc surtout au niveau de la valorisation des escargots.
Yeah, this slide presents the Kadayat, or the agreement that signed with the Kadayat in the part of research and development in this chain, or this sector of culture last year.
Voilà, c'est notre partenariat avec l'Afrique, donc transfert de la technique du Maroc vers l'Afrique, donc Bénin, donc je pense fin 2021.
As a good example of South-South partnership, or like North African, Sub-Saharan, or South African transfer of such technology, they do like design some partnership or they build some partenariat with the Benin as a Sub-Saharan country.
Aussi, voilà notre partenariat avec l'Italie, voilà, c'est donc partenariat aussi, donc transfert de la technique et aussi donc le développement de la filière donc au niveau du Maroc.
Yeah, another partnership with Italian partner since like more than 6 years.
Et voilà donc les produits qu'on a préparés à base de la chair de l'escargot, donc les produits transformés.
Some bioproduct extracted from the snails and already put in the market.
Voilà la composition chimique de la base, donc l'allantoline, le glycoline, collagène, les vitamines et des autres composés,
Yes.
anti-rides, anti-âge.
So this is the chemical composition of this slime of the extracted or secreted by snails, or maybe extracted because it was.
Donc voilà l'activité biologique de la vache. Donc voilà, sincèrement c'est efficace. Et aussi donc on a eu sincèrement donc bons résultats ici au Maroc. Donc voilà les conditions climatiques et en même temps donc le développement qu'on a fait donc au niveau de la filière, au niveau de la production vraiment été efficace. Donc, voilà.
So this result show a real successful in terms of the application in research and which is real research of application, in terms of their activity as an antioxidant or antibacterial, which allow them to use it as in all cosmetic products and other also sector, and that's it's related to the condition or climatic condition of his farm of such chain.
Voilà, donc voilà le circuit, donc l'extraction de tabac, il y a aussi, donc on va passer donc, par la formulation, donc on a préparé sur place donc pas mal de formulations pour des produits cosmétiques, donc l'application des produits, soit pour les produits cosmétiques ou bien les produits pharmaceutiques, et voilà, pour avoir un produit de qualité.
Yeah, here is to present the whole process of the chain from the extraction until the formulation of the product and the food for the market.
Et voilà, donc la valorisation, on a développé pas mal des formulations pour la chair aussi, donc pour le produit agroalimentaire.
Here is a new product that is developed by this academy. This local product that they put also for the marketing. So this is an example of transfer technology from the north and implemented here in Morocco. And then they, as a private sector, and they work together with the public sector, and they give job opportunity for youth. So it's a good model for us of such partnership, and there is like sustainable work because they work with now with a farm that is assisted by solar panel. And they try to put everything work with solar. So it's another side to discuss. So thank you, Ms. Nadia, for this presentation and this golden model. So as you know, the time is a little bit go, and we couldn't discuss many things because we have a big agenda. Now I move to the last one of the first round is Ms. Isman Johnson from United States of America.
خصنا نشوفوا الميتين روم هذا بحيث المهم بغا نتقدم من وقت صيفط مساج انا وبالتقدم وخاصنا نعاود نكري واحد الجروب اخر
خلي هو يكون
حيتاش هو راه صيفطنا مساج قال بقات عنده 5 دقائق ممكن غادي تقطع عليه دابا الا بغا كيبريزونت
Please, Isman, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, really just want to make sure that it won't get cut off. So I rejoined from another account. So, Assalamu alaikum. Hope everyone's well. Alhamdulillah. So my name is Ethan Johnson. I am the president of the nonprofit organization in the United States called Resilience Communities. I've had a history with Morocco. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Kamslat, 2014, 2016, and then I returned as a Fulbright researcher in 2018, 2019, outstanding for Kamslat. So we worked on a lot of projects. Yes, I know the region. I love it. I love Morocco. So what we do is we basically combine sustainable development with education. So in the past, one project that I worked on basically were creating capstone projects with engineering students at the University of Cincinnati. So there have been mechanical engineering students, environmental engineering students. We've also worked with urban planning, which is my background, urban planning and design, and communication students, anyone. The idea is we have an internship program that teaches them how to create projects, from research and development, workshop development, proposal, and budget creation. And then there's more larger projects, which I bring a project idea to professors to create a capstone. So an example of this was my master's thesis, which I worked with mechanical and environmental engineers to create a waste-powered pottery kiln for Kamstal. So we basically created prototypes. We did all the research, design backgrounds, and this was 2 semesters long. And I had a team of 5 engineering students, and professors to give guidance. So from that, it evolved into another project for the STEP facility in Tamsluks, which is capturing methane gas, scrubbing it, and potentially taking it to use for the kilns. Because as you know, in that area, people burn tires to power their furuna, right, the phone. So this evolved again into my Fulbright research, which was gathering data on the composition of waste in the El House province. So I met with Canary, I met with IEA, ONDIP, the Regional Director of Environment, to gather all this data and build proposals around these projects. Because the students create the end proposal in the budget, alongside guidance from, say, professors such as yourself or other universities to collaborate with, such as Cincinnati. Now, basically where it comes in, where it stops usually is finding funding. Now, I am working with Texas A&M University to apply for further funding for other projects as well. So through Regional Communities, we could apply to grants in the United States to begin the R&D, the research and development in your laboratories. But in the past, that's where it kind of stopped. However, with this collaboration, we give the students experience, hands-on experience with project design management and a unique topic that solves a social issue. In addition to that, we create, like I mentioned, workshops through a specific model that we have that trains and informs the residents as well on the project to gain that citizen buy-in. Right now, by letting them know what's going on, provide feedback, they're included in this development process. So it's not just engineering, it's also community planning and development, and sustainable development combined all in one. As Dr. Faisal mentioned, I did work on the Minar project, which was basically giving trainings and gathering survey data with farmers in 3 locations. Mostly 2 in the El House province, 1 outside of Marrakesh, I say in Shishawa, around there, in Duar. And yeah, that assisted and aided him in gathering the proper feedback of people's acceptance, social acceptance of this project, and we can follow up with them in the future. Yes, that's in a nutshell what I've been working on since basically 2014. I've had over 30 interns since 2020. There was one project I tried to work with Canary with. We had the contract and everything for the STEP facility, methane gas project. However, COVID killed it. But it took me 2.5 years to get all of those documents. But that's one of the things, one of the hurdles. It comes down to time, energy, and resources. But yeah, that's why I'm here to, again, let you know what I've been working on, and I'm open for discussions if you want to do collaborations with other universities, with other students, looking at international projects. I can do that.
Thank you, Isma, for your nice talk. So now I will ask you as a private sector or employee, what's difficulty that passed you during your last work in project? And I put some questions to Ms. Nadia, and there may be, I don't know, maybe in terms of financial part or maybe the communication parts to be like our guidelines for that we will use it in our next consideration in project maybe.
Alors pour nous, donc la difficulté parce que avant donc il n'était pas une filière, donc on a fait tout dès le départ. Donc on a créé tout on a créé la filière. Donc c'est ça notre difficulté. On est rentré au Maroc en 2013, on a trouvé donc juste la collecte dans la nature. Donc c'est autre secteur, donc ça n'a rien à voir avec les vaches d'escargot. C'était une filière nouvelle pour le Maroc. Donc,
So one of the challenge it was that there is no they are the first that will use this technology, and there is no platform here in Morocco, and there is no knowledge, so they do a lot of effort in implementing such such chain of air security. So what does it mean? Does it mean that something like governmental or academic thing that should be already exist that make things easy or easy to be implemented in future? That's one of the challenges. So from your side, MAIS or Eastman, what kind of challenge that will be like, or that be already possible in your project? Maybe with Eastman, if you remember in Minara projects, we do like social acceptance or economic study of our project, but we get like a problem in the financial side, how we can bring money from the university to a private company in a project. Could you, Isman, tell us about one or two examples? Because you have a lot of work with enjoyers too and other private sector, please.
Sure. From my experience working with you on the Minara project, you either find those grants that can help in those basic costs for your time and energy, but also transportation. Now, a lot of these grants offered to NGOs are very minimal or none at all. That is a barrier for a lot of people to provide that time to actually work on these projects. That's where I see there might be more benefit in creating a project design that lasts multiple years. So that's phased out, because you can have the whole package, but then it comes back around to R&D. All right, we need the equipment to actually test out these methods, to buy the equipment, whatever it may be. But that would open the doors for getting larger funds right away that can be distributed at the right time. Now, other challenges, local governments is one thing. Luckily, in these places, we have people that already knew government officials or authorities, such as myself, and they knew they had a reputation, so it helps speed that process along.
Okay.
Yes. Right.
Thank you, Isman. Mais, have you something to add? Yeah.
That.
English session. Yeah, I send them the new link, but we're going to connect. We will start for the next part. So I invite now the employees participants. First is from the Center for Sustainability, and they can share the presentation of Mr. Jamal.
Right, so thank you so much first for your warm, not only warm but hot, over hot, warm coming. First of all, and also I'd like to thank you so much for giving me this prizes the opportunity to sit, talk, discuss, and share their experience with a group of brilliant analysts coming from that various socio-economic and cultural backgrounds. It's really an amazing chance to sit around a colorful table to talk, to tackle big international issues. It's indeed a moral lesson that we are teaching to the politicians and state leaders. We are telling them that problems, conflicts of interest can be solved in a different way through dialogue and negotiation. All what they need is to be a bit modest and sit around or around table like this and talk. The rational conversation can save tens of thousands of people losing their lives in a ridiculous endless wars across the globe, in Ukraine, in Sudan, and in Palestine. So it's very important to have such roundtables to discuss, to talk, to share experiences, to instead of having conflicts. It's a great pleasure to talk about a newly born beautiful baby which has just celebrated his first anniversary. It's still in the breastfeeding period. I like to go back through the months and talk about the pregnancy period of this fetus. So how the Moroccan Center for Studies and Research on Sustainable Development was born. I never forget the day when we were sitting. I'm not going to read what's on there because I prefer to tell you what you don't know, what is not on official and formal documents, because what we don't say is more important than we read what we say on our documents. So I'm going to tell you the story, the philosophy behind creating and setting up this center. So I'll never forget the day when we were sitting around the table, not like this one, of course. In the 4K cafe, we were a small group of young but ambitious and energetic researchers. There was a big soccer match on TV, and everybody was watching attentively. We were not interested in the match itself, but we were interested in the in the surroundings of the match, on the stadium, on the infrastructure, on the behavior of people going there. So we were asking why we have such things there, and we shifted from going to watch match into creating something else. So we decided to be different and dream big. We moved to the top of that cafe and tried to answer some really challenging questions. Why is Morocco, this outstanding nation, classified among the developing countries and not in the developed ones? How can we change that ing from continuous to ed to the perfect? Of course, there were so many answers, perspectives, and various opinions. However, we all agreed that the starting point should rely on a very impressive and inspiring saying by the great Indian leader Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi said a very impressive quote. He said, "We must be the change we wish to see in the world. We, not somebody else, we must be the change we wish to see in the world." All came to the same conclusion. It's our mission, it's our duty, it's our responsibility to act, to work, to affect, to impact, to impress, to express, and brave to make the change we wish to see in Morocco, in our country. We all knew that all people want that change, that improvement, that development. Only a few are ready and willing to take action and be part of it. We believe that actions speak louder than words. We recognize that it's time to disagree with Mr. Cat Stevens, who sang, "It's not time to make a change." We said, "Sorry, Mr. Cat, it's time, and it's exact and the right time to make a big change." Choosing a name for our baby center was not that easy. Do you remember, Steve Faisal? There were a lot of lots of suggestions, but at last we agreed on the Moroccan Center for Studies and Research on Sustainable Development. Why we have chosen this name, opted for this name was not random. It makes our long story short. It summarizes our objectives and our aims and our goals and what we want to achieve. Moroccan, why Moroccan and not Japanese, for example? Because we believe that any change, any improvement, any movement forward can be achieved unless we start from and take into account our local socio-economic and cultural context. There were and still many big projects which they didn't reach their objectives. I can describe them as failed simply because they weren't the fruit of this land, the fruit of the Moroccan tree. So borrowing or importing ideas, projects, even if they are perfect, without being aware of the local community is not going to succeed for sure. So this is Moroccan. For center, the center is a tool, is the entity, is a channel through which we unite our efforts, enjoy our ideas, and collaborate in order to achieve this goal. The sustainable development for us is to focus on human beings, focus on people. So any development that doesn't touch, doesn't affect people is not called sustainable development. So people first we need to train, to educate, to sensibilize, to help people have mindset of change in order to go with you and understand this concept. So sustainable development is so important as it focuses on people. As you know, this is a relatively new-born center, and so we still focus on creating now a conceptual period. But we have a project that I would like to mention here. So this preliminary study on camel milk valorization through the enhanced feeding with bioproducts and development of high-value dairy products. It's done in the region of Zagora, Thailand, and so on. So these regions are known for raising camels, and camel milk is a priceless product that should be valorized. So we work with local community, with associations and so on, in order to valorize and to help these people to sell and produce in an adequate way this really important product. And this is a brief story of our center. Thank you for your attention, and I hope we can coordinate, collaborate, and work together to achieve our common goals. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jamal, for a nice speech on about the story of creating this new center. Even it is new, we already started in projects with Switzerland and other universities in agroalimentary product development. Now, because due to time, we move to the second speaker, which is Mr. Fouad. He is talking in French, and we try to translate a part of his speech.
Effectivement, je me présente, Fred Boston, membre de l'association AML pour le développement durable.
Mr. Fouad said hello to everybody, and he is the member of the association in Europe, AML for Sustainable Development.
L'association AML pour le développement durable a été créée en 2015, 11 février 2015. Elle avait pour but de collaborer sans limite pour servir l'intérêt général et contribuer à l'avancement culturel, sportif, social, environnemental et sanitaire.
It's enjoy created like 2015, 2015, and it aims is to collaborate without condition in several areas: cultural, sport, social, environmental, and even sanitary ones.
Aussi pour d'autres activités, notamment en réponse à l'initiative nationale du développement humain lancée par Sa Majesté le Roi 2006 et impliquant toutes les parties prenantes, en particulier la société civile, pour en assurer le succès.
And also responding to the national initiative launched by our kingdom, our king, in development of community.
Bon, les objectifs de notre association, c'est d'abord contribuer au développement local et communautaire à travers des projets de développement, favoriser la coopération entre associations et toutes les entités sociales, gouvernementales et privées concernées par la développement.
So the objectives of the association is to contribute in local development and community throughout the project development, also cooperation with other employees and other stakeholders, even in the private sector, for the objective usually is development.
Collaborer, coopérer avec les collectivités locales, les autorités locales, les institutions de la société civile et les acteurs économiques.
Collaborate and cooperate with local collectivity, local authority, institution, civil society, and economic actors in all public fields.
Participer à la réalisation du projet de développement, organiser des conférences, des colloques, des lectures et des événements intellectuels, culturels, artistiques et scientifiques.
So also they could participate in organizing events such as like conference in scientific or cultural or artistic, etc.
Promouvoir le rôle des femmes dans le développement à travers des formations et des activités socio-économiques.
So promotion of women role in the development, which I think is very new and special in the free and socio-economic activities.
Intervention is perfectly understandable by parents.
Yes. Ce qui a été le sujet de notre projet, le dernier projet, de juin 2023 à février 2024, le projet Mon Atlas.
So that's the objective of the new projects that financed by the Canadian Embassy. It's called Home Atlas, in which objective is to bring in the gap between in the gender by reinforcing or capacity building of women in a rural area that will offer like job opportunity and make it independent in the financial parts. And yeah, because and especially by creating, because now I read the slide and I translate. By creating an agriculture cooperative for essential extraction, and it is built for by women.
Le projet consistait à des formations pratiques.
So this slide it presents like the involvement of Qatar at the university or the center in a training, a technical training in the community for such women from rural area.
Il y avait des formations pratiques ici, formations théoriques juridiques, administratives, financières, et des formations de production, commercialisation des produits.
In the project, there are training on the technical side and legislation side, even economic study side, and processing of the product delivery.
Notre contribution a consisté à analyser les besoins régionaux et l'identification des projets potentiels. C'est l'analyse approfondie des besoins régionaux en consultation avec les parties prenantes locales, suivi de l'identification de projets prioritaires alignés sur ces besoins pour promouvoir le développement durable de la région.
So, one of the significant contribution of such NGO is to diagnose and analyze the needs of the region and identify potential projects that would be benefit in order to facilitate the collaboration.
Dans la facilitation de la collaboration, le projet Women Atlas implique une collaboration étroite entre plusieurs acteurs, y compris les universités académiques, mairies, les entreprises partenaires, les autorités locales et les communautés du port Atlas. C'est surtout le communauté.
So, we present this project because it's a good model of a public-private sector partnership, Qadriya University and Enjoy, and it is a company, Asmodec, that was charged on building process of oil extraction for the cooperative.
La mobilisation des parties prenantes, les associations responsables du projet, a mobilisé activement les différentes parties prenantes en organisant des réunions de coordination, des sessions de consultation et des groupes de travail.
So the Enjoy mobilized stakeholders by organizing workshops, meetings, and even some e-training.
Les femmes de la région sont également impliquées dans le processus décisionnel, garantissant ainsi que leurs besoins et leurs priorités sont pris en compte.
Yeah, so the women of this region are involved in the whole process in the decision, and in order to maintain the needs and what are the priorities that should be considered for them.
Il y avait le partage des connaissances et des ressources. Le projet au matin a favorisé le partage des connaissances et des ressources entre les différents acteurs impliqués.
So the project favorized the sharing of the skills, professional skills between women and also all the consortium members.
Par exemple, les formations étaient organisées pour renforcer les compétences professionnelles des femmes.
So the training was organized by, for capacity building of such women.
Et les préparer au marché du travail.
It to prepare it for the market.
De plus, les partenaires sont établis avec les entreprises locales pour fournir des ressources matérielles et un soutien financier aux initiatives entrepreneuriales des femmes.
So the real objective behind such a project is to implement a real financial for and real entrepreneurship initiative dedicated to women.
Il manque aussi la sensibilisation et l'éducation. Le projet approprie des activités de sensibilisation et d'éducation visant à promouvoir l'importance de l'emploi des femmes dans les zones rurales du Port Atlas.
So in the education activity in such a topic dedicated to the women of the High Atlas. So also the project identify and resolve some problems.
conclure, il y avait des obstacles, mais malgré ces obstacles, on rencontrait la contribution de l'association dans la création d'opportunités d'emploi pour les femmes dans la classe est significative avec la contribution du Paléria du pays.
So the conclusion we can say that even the challenge or the barrier present, the contribution of this NGO in partnership with Tadia University helps on overcoming such barriers.
La mobilisation des parties prenantes, le partage des connaissances et la sensibilisation ont permis de faire avancer le projet.
So mobilizing stakeholders, sharing knowledge and awareness advances the project implementation.
Cependant, il reste des défis à surmonter, bien sûr, tels que le manque de ressources et les barrières socio-culturelles, continuent pour assurer le succès à long terme.
However, there is a lot of other barriers to be overcome, such as the loss of resource, social cultural barrier, in order to continue gathering such success.
Merci pour votre attention.
And thank you for your attention. Thank you, Mr. Fuad, for such a nice story. And now I should go to Mr. Amin. Another example of a successful story in Sheikh. Yes.
Connecté sur une autre session. Donc, est-ce que je peux travailler avec vous?
Le mien?
Le mien, oui. Vous restez vous connecté, nous vous connectez à partir de là.
Oui, je propose ça avec les autres.
I will speak.
Okay.
We describe what they are.
Yeah.
Well, wait for 2 seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait for 2 seconds. Je vais raconter. J'ai une vidéo à montrer. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm the General Secretary of Association de la Conservation de la Biodiversité dans le Golfe de Gadez, ASCOB CIRTIS. CIRTIS is the Gulf that goes from the center of Tunisia, the coast to Libya. Really a huge Gulf, and there is a lot of biodiversity. And the goal of our association is to work on marine and terrestrial biodiversity, all the biodiversity. and we are localized in the Faculty of Science of Science, and we are also on science. And this association is involved in a lot of projects. I will present another project with another association in which I'm involved. And I will begin with this video just to have an idea. This project is about aquaponics. What is aquaponics? Aquaponics is we have plants and fish together in the same system. In a small cabin, we grow fish and cultivate plants. So we begin with this 2 minutes video, so we can have an idea about it. Okay? So we have people growing very good. And down here we have this. The system almost because the water is all the time circulating. The system does not use energy because we have sun energy and we work with batteries. We could put the system everywhere. You are not connected to anything. We don't need water. So no electricity. We need only solar light. And the principle of aquaponics is like in fields. In fields we use animal waste to fertilize plants. We use the same principle. We use and it's soilless system. The plants are cultivated in stones. There is no soil. So I will stop. Just I want to show it from outside what it gives. This is from outside. This is how it looks from outside. Where is it? It's in the Faculty of Science of Science. Who gives the money? Europe. What is the program? It's Tunisian Pen. The total funds is less than 1 million, but to do all this, we use it less than 100,000, less than 100,000. There is one other similar in Sicily, one in Tunisia and one in Sicily. Then the Commission, the European Commission gives the money to, in Tunisia, the university, the academic partner, to an NGO. And this is the story that I want to tell, that the NGO saved the project. And to a syndicate of agriculture, the most important syndicate of agriculture. So when you look to the consortium, we have academia working with citizens, working with professionals. This is the rules for a good project. If you want to have a good project, you should work with all this entity and make them together. Why the NGO saves the project? Because sometimes, I think it's the same in Morocco, the administration is rigid when you have to spend money. So many expenses that was not possible to make with the university was made with the NGO. And they have more flexibility. I will tell you another story. This structure has been inaugurated in 15th of December. The project administratively finished 15th of December. Means this structure has been inaugurated the last day. The last part of the money has been transferred the 13th of December. A public, which was about 40,000 euros. A public entity could not spend such amount of money in 2 days. An NGO could do it. So this is a first example of how NGOs, academia, and professionals would collaborate to make a successful. This is not a research project. This is a development project. We could not pretend that we invented or create aquaponics. Aquaponics exists. In some countries, it has industrial scales. In some, but I think this structure and this places in the center of the campus. So the students of the Faculty of Science, the student of the Institute of Biotechnology, the student of École d'Ingénieurs, School of Engineering, every day will pass in front of it. So from the first year in the university, and they will be curious, and they will be interested, and it could be a good idea of a startup. And this is the next step. The next step, we will ask for a new fund to make a startup. Faisal asked me, why you don't make the startup? No, we will ask for funds to make startups. So this is the first message. We have worked in many projects, but you could told me that this is a development project. So I will show you another project rapidly, which is a research project in which not only NGOs, so I'll stop sharing here. I will share this now. This is Horizon Europe project, and it's dealing with plant omics. I will not speak about plant omics, it's on plants and it's multi-omics. But my message here is we have a work package which is establishment. All the project is research. Very fundamental research. We sequence weave, we sequence plan, we study transcriptomics, proteomics, phenolitomics, metabolomics. It's really research on stress condition, but we have added a work package on establishment of the national network for sustainable agriculture and food and healthy food. And in this work package, we are working with NGO, we are working with DECIDO, politicians, we are working with scientists, and we are working with citizen NGO. So this is another example where NGO would exist. I think the presence of NGO in the project is compulsory, but if there is some NGO, I could give some advices. NGO in the project could have two status. The first status is a partner with a full budget. But if the NGO is not used to have a big turnover, they could not get a big budget. So NGO could participate as associate partner. They could not have money directly, but as they are associate with another partner, they will do activity and the other partner will spend for them. And for me, this is the best position. Because you don't have to make the management of the money. They will spend the money for you, they will ask to organize an event, they will pay everything. They will, I don't know. So this is my first advice. The second advice, when an NGO will be a partner, when they ask for the budget, they should not exceed the double or the triple of their turnover. Means, if an NGO is used to work with 10,000, they couldn't ask for 100,000. They can ask for 3, and this is very taken in consideration when we, in the commission, they check the economic data of the partners. So I give you, there is a lot of plenty other projects in which NGO are involved and have their place and could not only have, they could save the project in some occasion.
Thank you, Ms. Amin, for this presentation. I saw as well in the end of this second round, I'm asking directly a question, even from the audience or even from the speakers.
I have a question for the first session. The private sector, did they go to the academia or is the academia who goes to the private sector? And if they go for and if they go to the private, to academia, did they get satisfaction from their work with academia?
La question, puisque si vous contactez l'université, l'académie, parce que c'est le processus académique, or the university that contacting you. And if it's in which case, puisque vous êtes satisfait de cette coopération de...
Bien sûr. Donc, sincèrement, parce qu'on attend toutes les recherches qu'on a fait, donc c'est à l'extérieur. Au Maroc. Donc maintenant, on a travaillé pas mal de choses ici au Maroc, donc à travers notre partenariat, surtout ici à l'université. Donc on a développé pas mal de choses, pas mal de formulations. Donc on a fait pas mal de recherches au niveau de produits qu'on a préparés dernièrement pour la chair de l'escargot transformée et aussi pour la viande. Donc sincèrement, c'est un partenariat win-win entre les deux parties. Alors sincèrement, le premier contact a été à travers M. Le Doyen. Donc c'est un ami à moi. Donc avant, on a travaillé sur notre projet depuis 10 années. Donc avant qu'il sera doyen. Et par la suite, donc il m'a appelé comme quoi, donc voilà. Pourquoi pas de mettre sur place donc, un partenariat pour développer le secteur au Maroc.
So for this question that asked by Mr. Amin, who's contacting first is the academician or private. For this example, it's a special contact because she knows the dean before, so it was like a special contact before. I don't know, Miss Maris?
Yes.
Yes, sorry. Did you consider the partnership with the academia? Did you contact?
Yes, actually yesterday I did it.
Yeah, so you did it or the academia those contacting you? Who contacted you first?
It worked both ways, but casual hours usually. And for project also, for example, we had project together last month maybe. We were about to start it. And I have a project in Internet of Behavior, and I contacted an academic AI professional to review the research when it ends. So it happens both ways. Like as an industry, we need academic people if we want to do some applications, and also we need academic people to orient us on the latest and most utilized technology. Because, for example, I have been in the area of design technologies since 2002, and the latest technologies are used in my area where I understand better, like how to use it, what was most best, etc., etc. Being over industrial lecturer, but when I work in technology that is a little bit off-center, but not very close to my practice, I need someone who's testing regularly the newest application, and the most people who have the capacity to test regularly the most recent applications are academia. So we need them, we need you guys.
It's great, thank you a lot. There is a question?
J'ai une question aux élections.
Peut-être la question serait, est-ce qu'il y a une loi qui interdise, pas qui autorise? Parce que s'il n'y a pas de loi qui interdise, c'est autorisé.
The question is, c'est pas évident.
Moi, je veux une loi qui autorise.
The question here is about the legislation part of university that authorizing university to finance NGOs. It exists in Morocco, maybe in Italy or Tunisia or maybe another country. This is a question from the NGO side. So, there is any response or a model to explain, or we have, for example, with us, Mr. Gibrani is a professor, but we have a big experience in the financial part in our rectorat, so he will give us like if there is any option for that.
Ce qui concerne la nomenclature financière, c'est un peu difficile. Parce que ce qu'il a dit, c'est Aline, oui, est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose qui va interdire, oui. Tout ce qui concerne le finance publique, il est limité. Il est limité par les lois. Et surtout pour les établissements publics, on ne peut pas financer quelque chose d'extérieur de l'université. C'est un peu difficile. Nous avons déjà l'exemple de M. Gege, le projet qui a été entamé avec I think that's a project that will be make with Iraq and not found a solution to dépenser cet argent-là. Donc il y a un problème. Mais je pense que
c'est un cas particulier parce que c'est un cas de sélection là. Non, parce que c'est en sélection. Normalement, l'université
inventorier, c'est-à-dire qu'on ne peut pas le délivrer hors de l'université.
Bien sûr, mais ça n'empêche pas que normalement l'université si que normalement l'université peut participer dans le développement, il peut faire la formation, il peut faire l'expertise, il peut faire quelque chose. Et seulement le problème maintenant, c'est le problème, c'est le problème de construction. C'est-à-dire de construction les matériaux. Mais ça peut se. Mais je ne crois pas que c'est ça le problème.
Je pense
parce que là, c'est
une discussion avec le secrétaire général, ils sont en train de réfléchir sur d'introduire d'autres rubriques financières sur le budget pour qu'ils puissent, parce que maintenant c'est une obligation, c'est la nécessité de toutes les universités, c'est-à-dire d'investir, et surtout c'est de l'argent hors budget de l'État. Oui, on peut dire que le budget de l'État, on ne peut pas le toucher, etc. Mais lorsque nous avons des ressources qui sont, nous n'avons aucun lien avec le budget de l'État, on peut les investir hors. Toutes les universités internationales investissent au milieu privé.
So to translate this short discussion about feasibility of university to finance or fund, without fund to NGOs. So here in Morocco, for example, according to the Quran, it is not allowed to public sector to pay private sector or NGO until now. But there is now some update in the legislation that there will be arranged in future. This is, I guess, yes, in Tunisian part will come.
No, I think maybe, yes, the state could not pay, but here, I ask tomorrow, the state couldn't give donation to NGO as a donation, not to pay something. You can have the, I haven't understand the question very good at the beginning. Because I was thinking if the NGO in Morocco could have money from outside Morocco.
That's no problem.
No, because in Tunisia it become a problem. No. Yes.
Yeah, it's because it's a political issue.
It's becoming, but here in Morocco you can have the money as a donation.
Yes.
And you can have the money from different organizations, university, municipality, government. So you can have a lot of money if you justify the market.
Mais je crois que le problème ici au Maroc, c'est pas le ministère de l'Éducation nationale, c'est le ministère des Finances. C'est eux qui gouvernent. Dans le monde, dans tout partout.
C'est le nerf.
Voilà. C'est le nerf, c'est le finance. C'est le ministère des Finances. C'est pas le ministère de... Tu trouves même des législations au niveau de l'université, pas mal de statuts, tout ça, mais au niveau de finances, c'est le ministère des Finances.
So, thank you very much because we already expanded
About
the...
your system, if you can use this system to produce some fruit or something for the great like the farm,
Yes, yes.
like a great farm.
It exists already, it exists in all over the world, it exists in Asia, Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Thailand, Thailand, and all this.
They don't need the water. They don't need the water.
Yes.
For the, I think that's this.
We add, you know, all that you have seen, we use 10 liters per week. Only 10 liters. The quantity that, no, we don't change. We don't change because you have a filter. We filtrate it, we clean it.
I think it's a great solution for the sécheresse.
Yes, this is for.
So thank you. Now we will move for the academic part, the last part, and then we start by asking Mr. Massimo to tell us about such partnership with the civil society and private sector. What kind of challenge, what the role and importance. Thank you, Massimo, and the floor is yours, please.
Thank you, Faisal, for the invitation. And I'm Massimo Del Cuba, I'm professor of analytical chemistry in the Department of Chemistry at the University of Florence. First of all, as an analytical chemist, I have been very interested in the examples that the various speakers have given us, because in each one there is a great role for analytical chemistry. The characterization, for example, of snail slime, or the characterization of camel milk, the characterization of essential oils, and then, I mean, plantomics, analytical chemistry, metabolomics. So I'm very happy, because this means that our role is important.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
What about the collaboration between academy and private sector in Italy, and I could say also Europe? Okay, I think the academy is driven for many years to increase, to stress the collaboration with private companies, and all the projects, all the European projects ask to involve stakeholders. Stakeholders is a very strange word because this means everything and this means nothing often. But we can say the stakeholders are certainly private companies and also policymakers that are another party that is very important to strengthen.
So you have said half of my part.
It's good.
If you want, I can stop, I shut up, and I pass the floor to you.
I will repeat.
But I didn't write nothing, it's just from my brain. So okay. So it's very important, this collaboration, I think. It is important, but it's not always easy. Because in my experience, sometimes I can speak about a very fruitful collaboration between academy and private companies. For example, I have very good collaboration with a private company that manages the wastewater in my region, in Tuscany, in Italy. But I have also, unfortunately, bad experience with private companies. Usually, if the academy brings something important for the company usually has marked. So they understand that this collaboration is important and they are favorable about this collaboration. There is another important aspect, at least in Italy, that we should take into account. Some companies have learned how to have an advantage, a fiscal advantage, to collaborate with academy. Because in Italy, they can obtain, how to say, fiscal deduction, I think is the right word in English. And so this is a stronger driving force for companies because they get some help, they get some technology, they get some new information, for example, the analytical chemistry that we speak about before. But they have also very low cost. And also the Italian government has learned this lesson and recently has provided some, I don't know in English, some good path to obtain this fiscal deduction. And also from Europe now we have an important funding opportunity that is called, is an abbreviation, PNRR, that push up the collaboration between academy and private sector. For example, for PhD program. PhD program is strongly improved and the government give money if the academy implement the PhD program in which the PhD students go into the private sector, to work into the private sector, to learn the environment of a company that is completely different from the environment of the academy. Personally, I also have, from the academic point of view, many experiences similar to the ones described by Amin, by the other speakers. For example, the example of hydroponics, in which, we are in the same project, so you know, hydroponics, in which you cultivate plant just with the same water, aerosolizing this water around the root zone of the plant. Or, for example, my personal experience on recycling sludge to obtain carbonaceous material. So we have many examples that we can do. I don't want to occupy too much time, especially after the recall of Mariella. I can conclude saying that, at least from my experience, this collaboration is mandatory.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Can we reverse it so I complete the
Yeah,
Italian part?
yeah,
Is
please,
it a problem?
please,
Okay. Okay, so I am Mariella Bruzzoniti from University of Turin. I am an environmental chemist with also expertise in analytical chemistry. And I would like to speak because I would like to show the reverse medal, what is seen from by my side, because I am a woman.
Yes, we know.
And this, and this is important. And this is important because male vision, but also the perception of other people towards men or women is different. So I would like to start saying that the stakeholders influence and are influenced by the research output. So it is challenging to involve the stakeholders. The stakeholders are mandatory to be involved, as he recorded. But who are stakeholders? First of all, stakeholders are policymakers, industrial partners, citizens, normal people. So all these audience in a different language, because you must talk to policymakers and try to translate the research outputs into policy actions. This is challenge, and there are a lot of barriers, because first of all, you must demonstrate that you are credible. And you show this by showing the quality of the research data that you obtain. You must demonstrate that the data are of quality and also they are valid. And so, in my opinion, I had spent a lot of years to build the credibility for my research group, not only with the stakeholders, but also with my male colleagues. Because it is the truth. As far as my experience is concerned, I work a lot with Massimo. I found a good colleague, fortunately. And you must, the involvement of stakeholders, for my experience, is at different levels, because you can involve, mainly the stakeholder would like to be involved in a soft way. What do you mean? What do you mean with soft way? With a letter of commitment, because it is not so, what to say, non è così.
Cosa vuol dire in italiano?
Insomma, non hanno molti doveri, not so much duties for them, okay? They don't have to pay money, because to get money is always difficult. But in my opinion, also the support letters are very important, and my strategy is that either if they give money or if they do not give money, I would like to to maintain a continuous feedback with this institution that gave me the letter, informing about the results.
May I interrupt just
Yes,
a
of
moment?
course.
I am speaking about Italy. For example, in Italy we have a form of collaboration that is the joint laboratories between the academy and the private companies. And if a private company open a joint laboratory with academy and put inside this laboratory X money, this money are deducible from a fiscal point of view, completely.
But for instance, some policymakers didn't want to be involved as partners in projects, but only gave.
No, it was just a suggestion.
Yeah. when industry, industrial partners must give money, my experience is double. Like Massimo said, I also have some cooperation with the local institution of water management in Torino, the city where I come from, north of Italy. A fruitful cooperation because we know each other since a long time, so no problem to be reliable.
Personal relationships,
Personal
sometimes
relationship. Of course, and a lot of projects we have. And now I wanted to share with you a cooperation that it is starting, maybe, with a famous company of coffee brand. I will not say the name because I cannot. But, okay, we have an agreement with our university to have a cooperation during 3 years. So this company gave money for 3 years. But they are making some resistance because they don't believe in research, because they would like a prompt result, an immediate result for the products to be produced in the market. And this is sometimes not compatible with the research profiles, research outlines. And Massimo recalled the fact that there are the PhD programs that are, how to say, enhanced to make cooperation between academic and industry. Well, this industry doesn't want a PhD because they have to, how to say, to keep care about them, and they don't have time. But this is a big brand. And so this is also a barrier sometimes because we can get money, yes, with a short, small amount of money, having a 3-year course PhD, a person that is making analysis for the project for 3 years, but the company doesn't sound of this. So I think it's important to sum up, to show some credibility. Of course, if your TRL, technology readiness level, is higher, maybe the companies are more interesting, yes. And as far as the community involvement, so social citizens, we have presented some projects and we involved citizens. I hope that the one I wrote together with some of the persons present in this room, it will be financed. I would like to involve the citizens, schools, so talking at different levels with the visits, tours, the project deal with biodiversity, and to set up some escape rooms. You know what are escape rooms? No. Okay, I would suggest to write this at Inform. It is an online tool for especially oriented towards young people. There are some kind of games, okay, and then you have to superare to reach higher levels, just replying to some short and easy questions regarding sustainability, environment, and so on. Okay, you have to reply to some questions so that the young people feel involved. It is a game; they are gaming, but they are yes, they are sensitized to these topics. And this is important, in my opinion, to achieve the people from the youngest age level. And I stop here. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Maria. So now I should move to the last participant, speaker, Professor Bassem from Tunisia, as an academician too, to tell us about would you think in such a partnership we can enjoy?
Thank you very much. I'm Fahim Nasser. I am an associate professor at University of Science. I'm a biologist. I'm a microbiologist. I'm an academic, rat researcher, and I have some experience with me in several projects. I switch between French and English. Je me présente, je suis Marcel Clerc, je suis maître de conférence à la faculté des sciences du space. Donc, je fais essentiellement de la biochimie et de la microbiologie. Et aujourd'hui, on s'intéresse essentiellement aux NGO, aux associations, mais c'est le premier point de départ, c'est la question qui se pose par tous les étudiants. C'est le premier défi, c'est comment avoir de l'argent pour pouvoir faire de la recherche dans un premier temps. Donc ça, c'est le premier défi. Et comment la solution est évidente, ce sont les projets. In fact, the first challenge for an academic and researcher, how to find a budget and money to conduct your research. This is the project. The project is the solution. Mais le problème après, les académiciens pensent que on fait de la recherche essentiellement pour avoir des résultats théoriques ou même appliqués. Mais maintenant, les fonds sont de plus en plus diversifiés ou donnés à des objectifs à impact socio-économique. Essentiellement, comment vous allez toucher tout ce qui est sociétal. Donc, donc généralement, pour réussir un projet, il faut inclure des NGO, des associations, pour donner l'aspect sociétal pour être accepté. Donc, in fact, the aim of the project generally not just the academic or industrial results, but the social impact of these results. ONGs can be very important to disseminate all of the results and output for different projects for different categories and social community. Et nous avons vu tout à l'heure que la société, on doit vulgariser les résultats de recherche, même pour les enfants, etc. Donc, le deuxième défi maintenant, on a de l'argent, et j'ai vécu ça avec Ami, on peut avoir des budgets et des projets, mais le problème, c'est comment dépenser l'argent. Et ça, les étudiants, ils ne savent pas, c'est qu'on galère pour dépenser l'argent. C'est-à-dire, même si on a de l'argent, comment vraiment acheter des produits, avoir la commande, ça peut prendre 6 mois, donc il faut être préparé avant 6 mois pour avoir un étudiant en master ou un thésard, etc. Et le déroulement. Donc ça, dans un premier temps, et comment dépenser l'argent, essentiellement dans les problèmes qui ont été soulevés tout à l'heure, c'est-à-dire les obstacles administratifs de nos pays. C'est-à-dire, on n'a pas pu faire ça. In the second point, the first point, how you can obtain the budget and the money for conduct your research, and the second challenge, how you can spend them. This is the problem, because you have many administrative and bureaucratic barriers. This is the problem. La solution, c'est les ONG également. Pourquoi? Parce que la majorité connaissent les rubriques, les fameuses rubriques qui nous tiennent. Le ministère des Finances, il ne sait pas il te dit gros matériel, petit matériel, après je veux acheter ça, ni ça, donc tu ne peux pas l'acheter. Donc c'est ça le problème. Several problems in our administrative
in Tunisia or in Morocco, you have several categories.
And I understood. I don't know Marielle, but your French is really Italian, so.
Ok. Donc, c'est ça. Je voulais terminer mon intervention, c'est de sensibiliser les étudiants de l'importance de ce côté administratif pour vraiment faire de la recherche. Parce qu'ils pensent que c'est juste, parce qu'ils sont en train de faire de la recherche à 100%, mais ils ne savent pas ce qu'il y a derrière. Et après, en tant que postdoc, ça sera vraiment trop difficile. J'ai appris que dernièrement, vous avez eu le statut de postdoc. Nous, on a en Tunisie depuis X temps, mais ça pose également beaucoup de problèmes, c'est-à-dire que le postdoc, il est préparé du point de vue recherche, mais il n'est pas préparé du point de vue administratif.
Just to confirm that the problem of how to spend money, I can tell you very short story about my department. We have 3 administrative staff that work specifically on the management of the order to buy, I don't know, reagents or what else. And we are 100 professors. So you can imagine 100 professors with more than 100 research projects that ask to 3 people to buy continuously reagents and solvents, and I have order of 3 months ago that are still on the desk.
Yes, we have found a solution. In every project, you should contract a postdoc to help administrator.
We cannot.
No.
We are doing the work.
No, in the contract, he will do scientific work, but to go ahead in his work, he is obliged to help administrative.
Unfortunately, I mean, in Italy, at least in University of Florence, I don't know, University of Turin, we cannot do like this, because already we put our orders by ourselves in a software. So we already do the first part of the job. We look for 3 different offers because they are public money, so you have to be sure that you don't do the money you don't give the money to a specific company because
This is the same.
okay, I know it's the same all over the world, but this is a big problem, and I think it's very difficult to be solved.
I have another. Donc, ce point, ça montre le changement que nous avons réalisé dans notre système. C'est théoriquement, c'est pour être dans la transparence, il faut faire 3 devis pour pouvoir acheter du moins 10. Donc le système, il dit le moins 10 ans. Alors qu'en réalité, c'était le mieux 10 ans. C'est-à-dire c'est un rapport qualité-prix, price-quality. But in this moment, just c'est seulement le moins 10 ans. C'est-à-dire, on regarde juste le prix, et même si c'est de la mauvaise qualité, et on galère en tant que chercheur pour avoir des résultats. J'avais l'expérience que je travaillais un peu de la biologie moléculaire, la ligase qui est très très sensible, elle a passé 4 mois à la douane. Après ce qu'ils ont mis, ils l'ont mis dans un petit frigo, ils m'ont appelé ça comme quoi c'est frais, ça vient d'arriver. Et j'ai galéré pendant 4 mois pour faire la ligation, ça n'a pas marché. Donc à partir de ce moment-là, il faut faire attention à tout ça.
C'est la même chose pour nous. Surtout pour les marchés publics, etc. C'est interdit d'indiquer la marque. Déjà, c'est un point négatif.
Et les Chinois, ils t'amènent tout. Tous les certificats, ils vous les amènent.
Voilà, donc tant que vous n'indiquez pas la marque que vous voulez, donc
automatiquement nous aurons là-bas, c'est-à-dire la gamme la plus basse. Bon, avec un prix excessif.
Bon, chance, juste un petit mot, je termine. Juste, par chance, j'ai la casquette de fournisseur parce que j'ai travaillé en tant que commercial, en travaillant en tant que test lors de ma thèse. J'ai pas eu de financement, donc je travaillais en parallèle en tant que commercial. Donc je vendais du matériel de laboratoire. Et ça, tu dois essayer de trouver des solutions après, parce que s'ils font ils appellent ça rassembler les achats, et après si tu as par exemple quelqu'un de très loin qui a un petit bon de commande, il ne va pas venir, donc tu n'auras pas de produit.
Si vous me permettez, c'est le lot où on veut les choses qui sont bien, parce que si on a des problèmes, on ne va pas s'en sortir avec l'administration. Mais c'est-à-dire l'objectif de cette table ronde, c'est de voir les choses qui sont bonnes.
Les ONG.
C'est-à-dire les choses qui sont un petit peu bonnes et qu'on va s'inspirer, c'est-à-dire qu'on réussit et qu'on va se greffer sur ça. Mais si on arrive ici pour implorer le problème, on ne va pas terminer là au niveau administratif, et financier et tout ça. Je crois que l'essentiel de cette table ronde, c'est de faire sortir les choses, ou bien les réussites qu'on peut se greffer pour voilà, pour
One thing that has been discussed is we don't have to mix the same in the same manner the problems with private companies, NGO, and decision makers. It's very different. And even come to the university with specific problem, or it's the academician that come with his solution to present it to the company. It's two different. And we have two kind of examples here in the play. We have a project with the OCP, the National Office of the Phosphate, who launched, it's the company who launched project. And they select the project we proposed. And in this way, the private company could pay because they know that they have this problem and they want the academic to solve this problem. With some problems such as already said, we are late, the company wants a solution rapidly and the academician did a lot of time to give the solution. It's another problem. We have another example, a company who we have a treatment plant, membrane reactor, and we need to have this industrial wastewater. And we knock at the door and we say we will install our bioreactor in your company. We start to work for 3 months, and the membrane, we must change the membrane. We need money for the PhD students. They don't want. They want to see the result before. It's normal. They are calculating the benefits, the company. And I think that we have to learn that if it's preferred that the company comes with her problem to the university, and like this, we can gain their confidence and their budget. For NGO, I think that until now, all the projects we have involved NGOs, it's for this organizing workshop, awareness, educational, or social. It's especially that in our project. Perhaps we must change because for a long time we consider it's our fault as academics. We are obliged to involve NGOs, but NGOs, it's not only education and workshops and organization, it could be also doing startups and have value for that. Perhaps it's our problems as academicians. And I would like to cite a problem in Morocco. For example, our university tried to have a city of innovation. And this city of innovation tried to organize every time meetings between academicians and the private companies. We have participated to several meetings, but no project go on until now. It means that it's not the way, just dialogue, but we must, I think that the best thing is that the company is convinced with the problem. But small companies in Morocco sometimes don't know their problem, or don't know that the research can solve some problem there. And I think that the trainers and when we send some PhD student or master, it could help to have this link between the university and the company.
Thank you. So another thing that is important, sometimes industry, the private sector, they didn't care about PhD students, they didn't care about publication, and they didn't want publication. Sometimes they oblige patent, for example, and maybe the PhD student belongs for articles to defend their thesis. So there is like misunderstood, and the conflict doesn't make things going square. So if you have, I don't know, in Italy is the same thing in Tunisia, or how we can resolve that? Is that maybe our like doctoral or PhD school doesn't oblige students for defense for a paper, they could accept patent. If it's yes or no, who gonna find the patent? Is the university or the private? Is a big debate in this issue that it is a real barrier between a sustainable partnership between private sector and public sector. This is another debate, I guess, that needs another room to yes. So, to sum up, thank you for your participation, for your patience. Again, there is a lot of points that we really should be considered, and we will prepare a letter of recommendation in the technical side. I'm curious that it is really shown by our employers or by our private sector that such a story, and legislation levels or legislation levels difference between countries, and it exists a real difference. Each country manage things different than other, so there is like a diversity of managements in such side of such partnership. So in the end of this round table, I will thank all partners and all panelists, all attenders, and all followers from our channel YouTube, maybe to the on our live or maybe next. So thank you again, and I will invite you for to make a pictures in front of the Mary together to make it in the end of this. Thank you.